Hey, how you guys doing? Yeah, I know. I said it would be every couple weeks I do one of these, but fuck this. I want to do episode 5 of Baseball Off the Top of My Fucking Head, which is now the official title of it. It is. It's cool. I love the title. Because it basically is that. It's just me talking about baseball history off the top of my fucking head. It's just, God help me. It's just, oh, it's just, and I so want to do the 1960s, and there's several reasons for this. Number one is that when we left off, we're going to 1961 now, right? There actually will be expansion, but there's also going to be this other thing. Another franchise shift. One that's very significant to me, and one that's significant to my heart, where Calvin Griffith in Washington is having trouble. Just he talks to other American League owners at their owners' meetings and stuff. I can't make it work there. It's just not gonna work. I want to move somewhere, and that somewhere that he wants to move is Minnesota. Thank you, Calvin. Kind of. I can't. Well, no. We got a team, but as part of the deal, okay, so the Americans agree to this. But as part of the thing, they decide we're going to replace that team in Washington with another team. We're going to expand. Oh, really? We're going to expand our league. It's the first time this ever happened, right? We're gonna be 10 teams now. We're gonna have a team in Washington, and since the National League is already kind of carved everything on the West Coast, we're gonna put a team in LA, the Angels. So for 1 year there, the American League has 10 teams and National League 8, but one of them is Minnesota now. I'm not born yet, but I'm smiling. My little goddamn fucking sperm thing is smiling. If those things exist 10 years before you're born, I don't even know. I don't think they do. So we got that. And so now the National League sees this and realizes that, we need to expand 2 to 10. And of course, there's one gaping hole in our city structure here. There is no New York team anymore, is there? Well, we're going to fix that motherfucker. And they put the Mets come in 62. And to couple with them, another thing nobody has is a team in Texas. Okay, Houston, the Colt 45s, later Astros. Same team, same franchise. But they called them the Colt 45s in the early years. Played it, yeah. So, things are happening. We're going to have more franchises later in the decade. Some of whom already have moved once and will move again. At least 2, the Braves and Athletics. Good Lord. These teams move again to where they are now. It's just, God help me. Okay. But now, so the 1961 season, pretty significant. Roger Maris, Mickey Mantle, Babe Ruth, the home run record. We chased that. The Yankees are obviously the best team in baseball that year. It's not even close. So that part of the question, they're going to play the games and stuff. But yeah, it's obvious who's the best team in baseball that year. They're going to win the thing. But there's a home run record we're chasing. Mantle and Maris, who were roommates. Which is, when I say roommates, I don't mean on the road. I mean like when they lived in New York. They're roommates. Roger Maris, Mickey Mantle, they are best friends. And the media tries to portray them as enemies of each other. Well, no, fuck the media. Fuck the media. God, the media sucks. Especially the New York media, which is, poison. Poison on a stick is what they are. But Mantle and Maris, man, they would watch, you see, Billy Crystal, bring him back, did a thing, a movie called 61. A made-for-TV movie about that year. And he shows scenes where Mal and Maris are in their fucking apartment. They share. They live together. And they're watching media coverage of how they hate each other. And they're just laughing about it. And that's what happened. It's so funny. God, I hate them. I mean, I hate to agree with Donald Trump in a way. But yeah there is fake news sometimes. The media wants controversy. What they want. They want controversy. Controversy. Yeah, I said that on purpose that way. See, that was fake news. It's controversy, of course. But, okay, so let's move on. We're on baseball history up top of my fucking head, which means we gotta do baseball history, right? Okay, yeah. So, Madeline Maris chased the home run record all year. The Yankees are going to win the series this year, by the way. I'm not going to spoil it or anything. They kill the Reds and all that, which they do without Mantle. Because Mantle gets hurt. He's got this infection thing on his hip. And he has to bow out with 51 runs. But Maris, man, continues. And then comes the night against Tracy Stallard. It's a Yankee Stadium. He got 60 home runs. Tracy Stallard of the Red Sox on the mound. And he hits it. He does it. Hits 61. He beats Babe. He beats out the Babe. Great moment. And then the Yankees, of course, going to crush the Reds in the World Series. No Mantle. It doesn't matter. They don't need Mantle. Which is pretty pathetic for the Reds, to be honest. But the Reds are just watching, basically. They were happy to win the damn pennant. It made a while for them. Yeah, and you get there, and then you get 62. Oh, God, the 62. Oh, God. This is going to be a weird one. Because now I'm going to discuss the 62 Mets. Who, okay, I already said previously, this is another case of single production. But this one is more of a, oh, dear God, I can't believe it. Shit, I can't believe it. Case is single production. But it's kind of a thing where they did it for promo purposes. They didn't do, they knew the team was going to suck. Expansion, they're going to suck. And, of course, the National League didn't make it easy for them to get players, nor did the American League in 61. These teams don't get, they're not going to get anybody decent. And boy, the Mets lost in this thing. Good God, at least Houston was semi-respectable somewhat. They finished ninth. They finished a bit just above the Astros, of the Mets, rather. The Mets, man. Everyone was too old or too nothing. I can't even say too young. At least they're too young. They might, they did have Ed Kranepool play for them briefly at one point in that year, who would be the first guy to ever win a championship with that team. And hopefully something I'll get to in this decade. Hopefully I get to it in this video. But they were horrifyingly bad. 40 wins, 120 losses. My God. And it's weird because you look at the team's lineup, they got guys that can hit. I mean, Frank Thomas at 35 home runs, for the love of God. Richie Ashburn was a respectable dude. They had some guys that could hit, but the pitching was, oh, Lord. If anyone tells you pitching is not important in baseball, just consult the 62 Mets for that. Oh, Lord. Man. Oh, and they had a couple of guys like Roger Craig who knew how to throw. But just, what are you going to do? The defense was, maybe, to be honest, I forgot the defense, they were dreadful as well. It's just, when your defense is dreadful, your offense isn't that great. I mean, I just said they were, but they're not that great, believe me. They had a couple guys that maybe a home run once. That's it. The rest of the team, man, good Lord. God help us. That is oh, God. what a bad ball club that was. They finished 60 games out of first place. That's just got to be a record. I think it is. 60 fucking games. I think 60 and a half out of first. God help. You know, I think the Giants won the pennant that year. New York. Or the front one in New York, not New York. It was San Francisco at that point. Yeah. God help them. Jesus Christ. And they were bad for most of the rest of the decade until what I think will be the end of my video. The end of it. Where we, y'all know. If you know what's going to happen to the Mets eventually in 1969. But we're a long fucking way from that, and we're not going to talk about them anymore because they suck and they're terrible. They lose 100 games like every for the next 5 years or whatever. Okay, they're nothing. So let's not talk about them anymore. Okay, thank you. Anyway, Casey Stengel, gets really, 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 really fucking old and quits finally. Whatever. It adds to his legend that he manages his team. It does. But, yep. So, we had a long 1962 here. And, a nice World Series there. Yankees, Giants. Which I already did say, And the Giants almost win the damn thing, but the Yankees do win it. And then 63 and 64. The Yankees win 2 more pennants. Fucking Christ, man. They won 15 of the last 17 pennants at this point. But that's where it's going to end for a while. 64. Cardinals, Yankees. 63. Who did they play? I can't remember. For real. They lose it. I can't remember who to. Oh, the Dodgers, yeah. Yeah, Sandy Koufax. Yeah, the LA Dodgers, sure. They get swept by them. Koufax is incredible. And then in 64, the Cardinals, they lose in 7 to them. And Bob Gibson and things. And we don't hear from them for a while again. First time for a long fucking damn time. The Yankees are irrelevant for more than a year. I mean, it's more than a decade this time. But they'll come back. They'll be back. More than once. Yeah, believe me, you can't go long in this timeline without running into the Yankees again. But, no. And then 1965, and here's where I get a little bit, is about me. And I wasn't alive yet, of course. But that Washington Center team that moved to Minnesota, which I didn't talk much about, to be honest. I mentioned it briefly and said that this, but of course I'm from Minnesota. So the Twins, man, thank God they're here. Since if they weren't, I wouldn't be a baseball fan probably. Nah, I wouldn't be, but it'd be weird not having a team to root for, right? Well, that team went to the World Series in 65, which must have pissed Senator fans off that remembered, wait, this could have been our team. I mean, you gave us this other team that sucks, and they did. Good Lord, did they suck. The Neo Senators sucked. But the Twins, man, would have probably done the same thing in Washington, which is why they would have been pissed off. I mean, you could give Minnesota expansion franchise, and God knows what happened then. Probably never, still to this day, not had a World Series. Who knows? Maybe I would have. Who knows? But the franchise they got was now the one that's the Texas Rangers, and they've not won a World Series to this day. Though they're very much alive this year. They're in the World Series this year, so it could happen. But it hadn't happened yet. And they've had some tragedies. 2011 comes to mind. Enough of that. Okay. But we lose in 7. Sandy Koufax in Game 7 threw 2 shots. Okay. Yeah. It's respectable. We don't win, but we're close. Then in 66, you got the Orioles beating the Dodgers. The Orioles. The former fucking St. Louis Browns apparently only needed a change of scenery to become good. They win a World Series and sweep it against the defending world champions. And they did. They swept it. The Dodgers, basically, their bats were left in some warehouse somewhere. They forgot to bring those. And they literally didn't score a run. It just was terrible for them. 4-0. Baltimore, man. It just took a move to Baltimore. That franchise was transformed and, you know, it's been pretty good ever since. I mean, but still. Shit. 67. Okay. The American League pennant race that year. Holy fuck. It involves my twins. Wow. Would have been my twins had I been alive, which I wasn't. Yeah. You got the Red Sox. You got the Twins. You got the White Sox. You got, who's the fourth team? Who's the mind? There are 4 teams. Seriously. Oh, the Tigers. Yeah, the Tigers. Sorry. So you got Twins, Red Sox, Tigers, White Sox. 4 teams into the last week. Just in a dogfight for the American League pennant. No one knows who's going to win it. No one does. The White Sox kind of drop off first. Partially because they couldn't hit. It's a common theme, right? It was White Sox in 1906. And by the way, I should bring this up. That was 1906, 1905, which I said, but anyone even know what the answer now. But yeah, this team here, they were all pitching, man, and that's it, and they couldn't hit. And then eventually told. You know, they just got dropped out of the race. And they like lost to the fucking A's and shit. So no one cares. And that leaves the Tigers, Twins, and Red Sox. And they are all alive going to the last day. But it ends up being the Red Sox. They take they sweep the Twins on Saturday and Sunday. The Tigers don't win. I think they split a doubleheader. Had they won both games, they'd have been tied. But they don't. So the Red Sox won the damn pennant. They were in the Bob Gibson and the Cardinals and the World Series and lose. But it's a good performance for them. And they get there. And it's kind of a cool story if it weren't for the fact that it was twins that were involved, which I wasn't alive anyway, so what the fuck do I care? Okay. 68. Okay, 1968. A strange year in baseball. It is the year of the pitcher. I briefly, and I mean very briefly, referenced this about 3 videos ago when I talked about the dead ball year, and I compared it to 1968 because 90 is just weird. It's just there are more 1-0 games in this season. Oh God, I don't know what the hell happened. No one can hit anymore. I mean, you got like I said, guys hit home runs, and the American League batting champion was Carl Yastrzemski. He hit 301. That was it. To win the AL batting championship. The National League one was a little more. I think Pete Rose went and won it. I think it was Pete Rose. I don't remember. But I know that theirs is more respectable. But still, the 301 won the American League batting title. God. What the hell, man? You can tell. If you read news stories from that time, how, like, the news media, baseball, man, it's fading. Mad Magazine, even. Mad Magazine made jokes about it. It's just, baseball's dying. They can't hit anymore. Roger Angel said, guy goes up, he pops it up. Guy goes up with all his hype and everything. And finally, he pops it up. Just was a cycle thing. We're going to get to a time in baseball here real soon where it reverts and it's good. 1969, to be honest, which I'll get to here. Believe me, I'm going to get to it. That was where I'm going to end this video, but I'm going real fast here through the 60s. I kind of, I don't know, I'll go as far as I have to. I don't care. But in 68, of course, who wins 68? The Tigers. 3 games to 1 down to the Cardinals in the World Series. Come back to win. keeping Bob Gibson, pretty good. That's pretty good. Good job. And then we get to 69. Okay. Yeah, this is where I'm going to stretch this video out to the point where I don't need to go beyond this year. I hope. Because the 1969 Mets, oh Lord. This, I kind of abandoned them after 62 there, right? Because in 63, 64, 65, they lose like 110 games those years. They're terrible. 66, they finally avoid last place. That's because the Cubs and Leo DeRocher basically just said, fuck it. We're gonna rebuild and like literally rip this apart this year. This year is a rebuilding year. That's the only reason the Mets didn't finish. But then we're at 67, last place again. But then in 68, they do finally escape the cellar with some merit. A little bit. They got some pitching now. They got this kid Tom Seaver and Jerry Kuzman. These pitchers. And then 69 happens. What a roller coaster year that team had that year. It was a good roller coaster. I mean, it took them a while to get confidence, and they just, oh shit, fuck me with a stick, man. Let's back up. Sorry, I forgot. It was 1969. What happened? Oh my God, I missed a bunch of these things. Franchise shifts. The Braves finally give up the ghost in Milwaukee, which was great for a while, but was no longer great. So they moved to Atlanta. The Athletics they never really were big in Kansas. Never. They moved to Oakland for some damn reason. I don't know why they did. I guess it worked. I don't know. I felt like they could move anywhere. They could go to Portland, Get Portland a team. Seattle at the time. Well, Seattle was, it wouldn't work. But you know what I mean. That's the only two, I think. The Braves and the A's. Which, note that both those teams are moving in the 50s as well. So they're in 3 cities now. It's great. Good job. But in 1969, both, the leagues decide to expand by 4 more teams to each league. The American League, let's start with the National League. They're going to add a team in San Diego, the Padres. Still there. And a team that I miss deeply, because they're gone now. They're bygone. Too bad. The Montreal Expos. I miss the Expos. I do. I miss having them. They moved to Washington, that was back. I'll get to that in about 18 fucking videos. Whatever. Now, the American League. Okay. The Kansas City Royals. The A's had moved to Oakland a couple years prior. And this is the reason the American League expanded, because somebody sued them. And so, one of the deals of this thing is that you have to add in Kansas City, which they did. And the Royals, okay. And then this team called the Seattle Pilots. Let's just say they last that 1 year. And we'll talk about that. I don't know when I'm going to get to 1970. If I do in this video, I'll talk about it. If not, we'll wait till the next one. Just say they do survive as the franchise under a different city and under a different name. And you know it, and you've heard it. A lot of you know already, of course. It's not like a spoiler alert. Anyway, though, let's get back to 69. And this is where I'm going to end it. I'm going to finish the 69 account. This New York Mets team that had a horrible first 7 years, First 8 years, where it was. But they're finally starting to put something together in 69. And, they just, it's a real slow developing team that year. It takes them a while to rise towards the top. But they do. They get up there. It's very inspiring. And they finally get to first place. The Cubs, their main company. I should also mention this, by the way. My God, I'm sorry about the digressions here. both leagues now are 2 divisions. The first year, because they're now 12 teams, so they have East and West. Okay, so yeah, the Mets are in the National League East, and the Cubs are their main competition. And I mean, and they start out of the dogfight, but no, because the Mets just blow by them. They just blow by them, man. They win the division by like 9 games. Go to the playoffs. Now that we have 2 divisions, we have to have a playoff round, right? So the East champions, Atlanta, we sweep them. We go to the World Series. And now comes the problem, we think. Baltimore, the Orioles. This team. Everyone thinks this Baltimore is going to just destroy the Mets in the World Series. Absolutely kill them. It could have been, but it's very possible the Nationals were way tougher than the American was that year. And that's why there was this discrepancy in perceived lack of talent. But World Series played, final, Mets 4 games, Orioles 1. Yeah. The Miracle Mets. God, that was just unbelievable. I can't even imagine what that must have been like. If I was alive then, I'd have been so on board with this Mets team. I can't even believe. And I'm of course a Minnesota Twins fan, and would have been then. But I would root for the Mets in this, and my God, I would have been so happy. They fucking did it, man. The Mets won the World Series. Unbelievable. The Mets. This team that sucked. But they did. It's heroic. Tom Seaver and Jerry Kuzman and all these people, and Tommy Agee and Leon Jones and Ed Kranepool and God, so many people. Just a great ball club. A great ball club coming together, God, just, yeah. So that's it. I'm at 27 minutes. I got through the 60s. That's pretty much, I think maybe I'll do a decade at a time from now on. Stretch it out a bit. But yeah, that's the 1960s, man. As best I can tell you, off down my fucking head. I am, ow, what? Oh, no, that's horrible. Come on.